watching Countdown to Kickoff, Tampa Bay versus Pittsburgh, right here on MOR. Brought to you by Yingling Traditional Lager.
And I knew a couple of people. I'd worked with Monty, I'd coached against Mike Shula, coached against Joe Marciano, and I knew those guys. But there were a lot of guys that I didn't know. And one of the first things I did was sit down with our college scouts and say, hey, I'm looking for some good teachers. Who's out there in college football? And I didn't know Rod Marinelli and Lovie Smith and Mike Tomlin and Charlie Williams. And that was just really a blessing from the Lord that, you know, I got these names. You talk to guys and interview them and say, wow, they're on the same wavelength as I am, how to play the game, how to teach, how to encourage. And we had a tremendous staff.
And we'll have much more from Coach Dungy in my exclusive one-on-one interview a little bit later on in the show. Now, Tony has produced a lot of great coaches in the NFL, from Rod Marinelli to Herm Edwards to Lovie Smith, but none of them has won a Super Bowl as a head coach except Mike Tomlin. And it was many moons ago when Tony Dungy tabbed the precocious young 20-something-year-old to lead his Bucs secondary that included Ronde Barber, who will join us there live in just a minute, John Lynch. I mean, that was a pretty daunting task, but Mike Tomlin never flinched, and he thanks Tony for giving him his NFL start.
I interviewed Mike, and in 5 minutes you could see the confidence that wasn't cocky, but it was a confidence that I know what I'm doing, the ability to communicate. And then he steps in the room and he's got Ronde Barber and John Lynch, who are perennial Pro Bowlers, and then he's got young guys who he's got to bring on, and he connected with all of them right away. So it didn't take long to see he was going to be special.
Coach just provided a daily blueprint with how he approached it. He was just himself every day. It was a steady focus and compass through unsteady waters that can be an NFL season. I felt that working for him is steady leadership. Guys knew where they stood with him. He was a clean communicator, and I think that those are some of the key ingredients that allowed him to be successful in multiple places, successful for an extended period of time. He's worthy of the honor that he's gotten and he's getting this upcoming Monday night.
And joining us now, future Hall of Famer Ronde Barber joins us here.
That's kind of you.
and accurate. Talk a little bit about Mike T first. I mean, you remember when this young kid came into your meeting room, there's you and Lynch staring at him. What was that like for him?
Well, a couple of stories. First of all, he came in with like a college mentality. So he started doing all these little drills with us, and we're saying, what are you doing to us, Mike? And then after a month, we realized we were actually getting better. He actually recruited me to stay in town. I was a free agent that year. He came in town and said, you're the only guy that can do what I need you to do. And I led the league in interceptions that following season. And I hear a lot of people talk about Mike that don't know Mike. Mike is a phenomenal head coach. He deals with personalities better than anybody I think I've been around. He's a great coach.
And he's got some personalities to deal with now, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. You're also an analyst for Fox, so let's put that hat on and look at this game. What has Mike got to do to get his Steelers back in that old Steelers mentality?
Well, you would like to say they have to play some defense. That's where they've been struggling for the most part this year. They're going to put points on the board. They have so much talent on offense, even without Le'Veon Bell. But they struggle at corner. And we know what Joe Hayden is. All you people in Florida know what he was as a player, what he was in Cleveland. But he's got to lead a group that's not performing for them, and especially today. If you're looking at the matchup today, it's Artie Burns, Hayden, whoever's playing safety for these guys, got to deal with some matchups that not a lot of people have been able to deal with so far this season.
And Fitzmagic just continues to roll, man. What can you say about this guy? His accuracy on the deep ball and other passes has been uncanny. What's going on with him?
I think he's buoyed by the talent around him. You know, even if you ask him, he says, they make my job easy. I was fortunate enough to do the game last week, and everybody was expecting Philly to come in here and trounce him. And he just went out and did what we all saw in the preseason. The offense was more open. Todd Monken, if it's whether he's empowering the guys or the play calling or structure of the play calling is a little bit different, he's getting the ball in the hands of his playmakers. And when you have Mike and you have Deshaun and you can throw 50-50 balls, O.J. Howard, it's tough to beat. They don't have to run the football.
Yeah, they really don't. They haven't done it yet, but when they do, they might have.
Yeah.
All right, Tony Dungy goes into the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
What did he mean for you as a player and a man?
Yeah, well, more as a man than as a football player. He taught me how to be a pro, obviously, but I'm constantly humbled when I'm around him, even today. I mean, 20 years ago, I remember being in my first meeting with him and saying, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be in this locker room with the team that we had, with that guy leading us. And unfortunately, we didn't win a Super Bowl with him, but he put us on the right path.
Yeah, you kind of did, though, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Ronnie, thanks so much for being with us, man. And have a good time tonight with Tony and the gang. Ronde Barber right there. All right, when we come back, we'll talk to one of his old mates, Derek Brooks. He'll sit down with him one-on-one and hear what Tony Dungy meant to him. Stay with us.
You're watching Countdown to Kickoff, Tampa Bay versus Pittsburgh right here on MOR. Brought to you by Yingling Traditional Lager.